While I was sound asleep, my husband secretly took the baby's formula. The next moment he finished it, he instantly transformed into my appearance. Then he took out some scissors and cut his jeans into super short shorts, showing off his little waist. After that, he set a 30-minute countdown for himself and rushed out the door. It turns out he was secretly going on a date with a wealthy man behind my back. The wealthy man saw me looking all round and beautiful and fell in love at first sight, but love without material things is like a pile of loose sand, so he immediately pulled out a supercar key. He captured my husband's heart with gifts, and my husband agreed to date her, but his watch reminded him of his promotion, so he couldn't enjoy intimacy with the wealthy man, and rushed home. He transformed back into my appearance, stunning my family. It was a daydream. I felt disappointed in the marriage. The wealthy man texted my husband to meet, and he was thrilled, but out of magical milk. He asked me for more milk, and I gave it to him despite the pain. That night, my husband dressed up and met the wealthy man. He proposed, and my husband agreed. His dream life with the wealthy man was beginning. I never expected this. Seeing her in those hot pants, I signaled my husband to help with the baby, but he ignored us. Then, a wealthy man invited my husband to meet. My husband was thrilled, but needed more magical milk. He returned to the room. I had to give him more milk. I gave in to his demands. That night, he dressed up to meet the wealthy man. He proposed and my husband agreed. His dream life was beginning. Back home, he demanded milk. I had nothing left. He threatened me. With no choice, I tricked him. I knew he was secretly dating the wealthy man. Let me give him some more milk powder. Seeing my husband's hideous face, I had to give it to him reluctantly. At night, my husband dressed up very exquisitely and appeared in the restaurant for a date. Soon as they met, the rich man knelt down and proposed to him. My husband agreed without saying a word. The rich life he dreamed of was about to begin. It turned out that men could also fly up to the branches and become phoenixes. After returning home, the first thing my husband did was to ask me for milk powder. But I have nothing now, not even enough to feed my child. But he totally ignored the feelings of my mother and me, and forced me to give him a bottle of milk. Otherwise he would use his fists to teach me how to do things. Under the threat of my husband, I had to compromise. But the amount I gave him was not enough to satisfy his requirements. He asked me to give him at least 1 liter. I had no choice but to use a trick to punish him. In fact, I had known for a long time that he was secretly dating a rich man behind my back. I squeezed the pig's milk into the bottle. My husband was unaware. I knew his scheme. He hid at the church and drank the milk. He set a countdown and entered the chapel, unaware. Was a pig. The bodyguards and priest were shocked, and the wealthy man, seeing the pig as his bride, ordered him out. My husband, dazed, saw his reflection, and realized it was my doing. I arrived in a luxury car, divorced him, and his actions set up my escape. I was disappointed in him, walked into the hall, ending my misery, while he remained a pig. At this moment my husband was still in a daze, but when he saw his reflection in the water, he finally realized that it was all my doing. I arrived at the scene in a luxury car, and divorced my scummy husband. And everything he did became the setup for my escape. I had long been utterly disappointed in him, and I walked into the wedding hall, finally ending my miserable life, while my greedy husband would forever remain a pig.